Matter of fact, he a caveman. Red skin, yellow hair, blue eyes, a serpent. But them prophets is back, feeding you milk, they gon' help you get fat. Yeah. Giving you laws, they gon' keep you on track till the kingdom intact. Yeah. Helping you fight against sin and all of the struggle pertaining to men. And that's what we on all the way to the end. We do it for the kingdom.
144 and he gon' lead them. Stay up in your sins and die with eat 'em. Look, your pastor don't want war cause we gon' beat 'em. Cause we gon' beat 'em. We do this for the kingdom.
So I lead 'em, spirit hungry, then I feed 'em. Slavery's bad, I'm so mad. I see red, I see eat 'em. Get rid of other nations, really don't need 'em. Aiming at the forehead, looking like Elam. Look left, look right, take a look at these heathens. Cause the next time you see them, they will build in my kingdom. I would travel coast to coast to teach the word and do the most. Let the spirit of his word come and hunt you, Holy Ghost. That's a key thing, let his word float, butterfly, then a bee sting. Fear the most high or you die, that's what we see. Study his word and apply, not a deep thing. Put your life right on the line, you could be king. Yeah, here's a message to my enemies. Even some of those akin to me. When the black messiah cracked the sky, don't switch up or keep that energy. You really think that you can beat him? Nope. Man, he's coming for our freedom. This is why we repent. Man, we do this for the kingdom.
144 and he gon' lead 'em. Stay up in your sins and die with eat 'em. Look, your pastor don't want war cause we gon' beat 'em. Cause we gon' beat 'em. We do this for the kingdom.
Yeah. Ain't gotta speak, ain't gotta say a word. Nope. My actions louder than Nagasaki. We bout this work. Let's go. Ain't gotta speak, ain't gotta say a word. My actions louder than Nagasaki. We bout his work. Let's work. Do it for the team, 12 over everything. Do it, dice the message, we taking over everything. Beating swords to prune hooks, we don't see. Moving through the trenches, 140 for goal lead. Headed stuck in the gates and watch it with no ease. You might catch a heavily blood if you intervene. Right. Lift up the banner against Babylon when we hit the streets. Shine a light on these churches and the hypocrisy. The church a liar, pastor lying, mama lying, TD lying, Creflo been a liar, Rasta liars, Christian liars, Pentecostals, the feast day simple liars, bastard liars, 7-day vintage till your clock expired. Repent or them heads gon' roll like tires. We do what we do and spread out when we tell them. Cause we do this for the kingdom.
144 and he gon' lead 'em. Stay up in your sins and die with eat 'em. Your pastor don't want war cause we gon' beat 'em.
My people going to war. We bringing out the fire. Those heathens we ignore. Cause we know that they liars. I'm reading in the we reading in the they reading in
Hey. You're listening to In the Scripts.
Reloaded. That's right.
Hey, you are tuned in the Scripts.
Reloaded.
I'm Officer Yakub. Who I got to my far left?
Officer Shema. I got it. Appreciate it.
All praise. To my far left?
Officer Lavi.
To my far right?
Officer Kashaw.
And to my right?
Officer Karib.
All praises. Hey, we are with y'all tonight. Back with another good show, informative. We're going to touch on part 2 of last week's show, discussing how our enemies, the oppressors, have hurt the earth.
Right.
How they have hurt the earth. And we're going to go through a few topics, a few things. Y'all know how we do. If you have questions or comments or questions, then please call in. The phone number will be listed. What's that phone number?
214-272-0400.
That's right. So, hey, in the media, y'all know the big thing that's going on with us is pertaining to the mosquito bite.
Right.
The jab, right? So has anybody seen the that video of the senator that was getting in Fauci's behind? He dug up all the emails. And,
Oh, yeah. Ron Paul.
it's another one. This is another guy. It's another senator, man.
Oh, so it's catching up with him now, huh?
Mm-hmm. He says he has a bunch of evidence to show or to prove that Fauci lied.
About that gain of function.
Yes, about the gain of function in particular. Yeah. And, I mean, it's pretty heavy, man.
Hey, somebody need to bring it out because listen to this, youngster. Because now I want to talk to the youngster right here. Because listen, they want us to take that jab. Yeah. They want us to take the jab, but they won't even let us know where exactly it came from. Now, you can do all this researching all the way from South Africa, certain parts of Africa and all like this with the new variant, but you still can't tell us where it came from? Come on, man. Right. That makes me leery about the whole thing.
And that's another thing with the jab, too, right? They developed the chemicals for it, you know what I'm saying? In under a year. Right. Bro, where is the jab for cancer? Right. Wow. Where's the jab for all these other diseases that Esau been raising billions of dollars for the last 20 years? Right. But now all of a sudden this come up and everybody's good, everybody trusts in it, and it's proven. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then they wanna make it convenient for black and Hispanic people to take it, right? So they offer them money. Right. They offer them, you know what I'm saying? Look, even in my job, bro. $1,000 if you take the jab.
Yep.
Wow.
$800.
$1,000?
$1,000 if you take the jab. Yeah. And them niggas
they giving bonuses.
They in there getting jabbed up, coming back sick as hell.
Hey, you missed $1,000 because you out of work for 2 weeks.
Right. A few people at my job, they speak about it every other week, and they're like, I think I'm gonna take the booster. Apparently you got to take the jab, then you got to go back and get some more jabs. So a lot of the people that I work with, every time they say, hey, I'm going to schedule to go get my booster, they always say, because of the side effects, you probably need to take the next day off. A lot of them scheduled to get it done on a weekend or Friday or over the break. Literally, there was a female having a conversation like that today during our planning period, and she was like, I think I'm going to take it on Friday, so that way I ain't got to deal with my kids. Basically, it sounds like it shut you down for a whole day, for the whole next day.
Man, so, but how many boosters can you get? Because there's so many different variants. You got to get a booster for every variant. I don't know. I mean, come on, man.
This is me when they talk about it. I'm just on.
I mean, all I know is you always. This amazes me, right? If that's supposed to be the protector, right? That's supposed to be their form of a hedge, right? How is it that you take it, but you still have to do everything that those that have not taken it do?
Right. And
that's the same thing that they do with like these vaccines they be giving to the kids.
The jab.
The jab. So if your kid don't take jabs, right, they can't go to certain daycares, schools, all kind of stuff, right?
Right.
So who are they affecting? Are they affecting? Shouldn't they be the ones
if your
to get affected? If your kids is jabbed up, they shouldn't be the ones that's worried that you should be worried about.
Right. Yeah. At the school, if we have, I want to say 2, because we had a whole meeting. They had a whole meeting about it. They have 2 kids that they have the exemption for them. But what they were saying in the meeting, and basically it was like they was putting pressure. It sounded like they want to put pressure. They were like, hey, if they do have the religious exemption, whatever kind of exemption, we need to apply pressure basically daily. This is what the one of our administrator said. Apply pressure to where we keep reaching out to the parents. And I'm listening in on the call. I'm like, damn, what's that like? If all y'all good, why y'all focusing on these 1-2 students? Like they had a whole meeting just because it was about 3 or 4 students. They not wearing a mask up in the class. They changed up the attendance policy. When I take attendance, it says present with mask, present without mask, absent. Like they changed up a whole bunch of stuff to suit this, this jabbing.
Right. Hey, officer, can we get Ciroc 38 and 4? Because obviously, you made a good point earlier. I heard this before too. A lot of people, what's happening is they get the jab and then they'll be sick for 2 or 3 days after that. How are you taking something that's supposed to help you, but it got to make you sick first?
Right.
That don't make no sense.
None.
You see what I'm saying? So go to Sirach chapter 38 and verse 4.
The book of Sirach, chapter 38 and verse 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth.
So the Lord gave us our medicines. When you look back at our forefathers and our foremothers, they use even like our great grandmas, like they used to have like ginger. They used to give you ginger. They used to give you these natural things that came out of the earth to make you feel better. Right. I ain't never heard of nobody getting a fever after eating greens the next day to help with their sickness. You see what I'm saying? So the Lord said he made medicines out of the earth, and he gave us the knowledge to know how to deal with these things. So the mere fact that we getting jabs showed that we discontinue from our heritage.
Right. It just goes back into we don't even know what's in this thing. You know what I mean? obviously it was created in a laboratory. Obviously, right? So you gotta think like, man, this thing is chemically created. So that means it's no telling how much this thing can grow. Right. And what it can grow into, because it feeds on something and it keeps creating. You ain't killed it yet, and it's all been almost 3-4 years, because this thing been going on since 2020, 19.
Yeah,
well,
2000. Yeah,
whenever it popped up,
about going on 2 years.
Yeah, November, I think, of 19.
Back. Hold on, officer. Excuse me. Remember when they was saying those young guys was vaping? And they was catching respiratory diseases.
Right.
That probably was
something to it.
That something to it.
No, it was them Popeyes chicken sandwiches. They put
Popeyes
in there. Yeah, that was the Popeyes chicken sandwiches. in them chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, it probably was that too.
They said it started in what they say China. Hey, no, that one started on MLK at that Popeyes down the street.
Probably right, man. Probably right.
Damn. Hey, but when go ahead and get your scripture. Go ahead and get your script.
Oh, you got one?
No. I was.
Oh, you okay?
Yes, sir. We ready
okay,
already.
gotcha.
Yes,
So dealing with that script, I got a medicine I know ain't none of y'all probably ain't never heard of it. Cow chip tea.
Cow chip tea.
What in the hell?
Now, hey, play that soundbite again.
Hey,
Cow chip tea. You threw Officer Shamal.
So he got me on that one. So
what
the hell is this?
Y'all look that one up on your own time, man.
Oh, okay.
Cow chip tea.
It probably got something to do with some.
It's a cow chip.
Yeah.
Cow chip.
I think I didn't heard.
You done heard of it?
Yeah, that's a real tea.
Okay.
That's a real tea.
If you drink cow chip tea, call in.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, cow chip. You know what that is. Let us know in the comments.
If you're able to, if you're still around.
Yeah.
I just looked that mug up.
If you fell out after the cow chip tea, let us know.
Hey, can y'all pull that up?
Cow chip tea.
Y'all look that up? Yeah. Cow chip tea. Cow chip tea. See if that comes up.
Denied.
Look, see, before he was even finished typing it, and it
Grandma's
popped
home
up.
remedies.
You see that?
What is cow chip made of? You click that right there.
Yeah, look and see.
A cow chip is a dry pile of cow dung. Cow doo-doo.
Yeah.
His grandma was telling me, hey, this is what Ezekiel had to do. Go ahead and do it.
Right. Come on, man.
Ooh. Hey, there's a real tea made from cow chip tea, and because of the vitamins and the minerals that are in it, because, a cow, I mean, he all he eats is grass and grain.
Mm-hmm.
So that cow chip, dried up and
The hell is this?
This is semantics.
Putting all the other stuff to it, man. It's a remedy that was used to knock out respiratory issues and all types of stuff.
Hey, get that scripture. Everything is lawful, but it's not expedient.
If you let officer babysit your kids and they come back with their breath stink, you know what they were doing. Hey, just give my kids some cough drops.
I'm just gonna keep my kids at the house.
Nope.
Oh, please.
Kids come home like, yeah, we was drinking tea at Officer Yacoub crib.
Damn, your breath smell like doing.
I be feeding my kids that cash.
Yeah, right. All praises, man.
Wow.
Hey, let's check out this first video, because in this first video, I just want to touch on it for a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna go into this jab and evidence that's been found pertaining to the guy that was supposed to, be the one that dealt with it all. Let's pull that up and let that play real quick. And Jim Jordan is his name. Jim Jordan.
Jim Jordan.
Yep. He's a Republican.
Okay,
from
yeah,
Ohio.
this guy right here. I'm familiar.
Yep. But it's crazy. We got a call? Somebody calling in to let us know.
Y'all didn't drink that cow chip, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, caller, what's your name? Question or comment?
Simca Israel.
Simca Israel?
Simca is, yes.
Hey.
Hey, Mama Sim.
The voice.
Hey.
That's the voice of an
Hey,
angel.
Mama Sim. You gonna tell us about cow chip tea?
Yes, sir. I'm going to tell you about cow chip tea.
Okay, what can you tell us?
Cow chip tea is taken from cows because cows eat grass, and they eat a little grain, but mostly grass. So the cow chip tea is their droppings. You take that cow chip tea and you put it in a white cloth or a handkerchief or cheesecloth, and you boil it. And I can guarantee you, whatever you've got, cold, mucus, whatever, you drink that tea, and it spurs everything that you've got. Officer Yakub can tell you about cow chip tea because they used to drink it.
That was
Okay, Mama. All right.
Hey, Mama said Mama said
Okay, Mama. All right, Mama.
That was his favorite drink. That was his favorite drink at the job.
Nah, man.
Mama, you got some more of that cow chip.
Hey, he would come to the school with the bottles you can't see through. He be drinking that cow chip tea.
They be like, hey, drink, security be like, hey, drink some of that. He be like,
What else?
I
What
can't
else
drink that,
goes?
right?
What else would go in it?
You can put honey in it. You can boil it with other herbs. But it heals. It heals. It's a natural healer.
Right. Okay, there it is. Hey, there it is.
All praise.
The proof is in the pudding, y'all.
Nope.
I ain't. Okay, hey, we appreciate your call. We appreciate your call.
Hey, that's definitely gonna be a last resort.
Right.
Hey, give me 1 Corinthians 10:23. Hey, so you know when Yakub come to, you know me, when he come to the school and he smell like what's today?
Man.
He been sipping that. He been sipping that tea. Yeah. 10:23.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10 and verse 23. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient.
Yeah, all things are lawful, so it might be good for you, mother. But I don't know.
So what I can say is I had it once in my life that I can remember. I had it one time, and I had an infection, like a sinus infection, that was so bad that I couldn't move. Like I thought I was gonna die, and I got a cup of that. I was given a cup of that cow chip tea. And y'all remember how Cat Williams said that when his son wakes up in the morning, as soon as his foot hits the ground, he zoomed. I went from bleeding to that night, drinking that, going to sleep, and waking up the next morning like nothing had ever happened. As soon as my foot hit the ground,
What old boy say? Amazing.
yeah. But that's one of those that you can't forget, though. I mean, I was told cow chip tea, and then I got told what it was. I was like, what?
Yeah.
They
Good
told
thing
you
they
before
told
or
you.
after they gave it to you?
Now,
Come on now,
Yeah,
dog.
because you wouldn't have drunk that thing.
After. Because, I mean,
Yeah, cow chips sound normal.
Yeah. I ain't know what no cow chip was, man.
But those old remedies that
Right.
work.
It still go back to the
That
point
work.
though. We had, we had the knowledge of how to deal with the things that the Lord gave us to make us feel good.
Right. Officer, you remember that castor oil when you got sick?
Yeah,
They give you that castor
castor
oil.
oil,
Y'all
yeah.
ever heard of that? The worst
I
thing
know
you
what
ever.
castor oil is.
I know what castor oil is, but
You never had to take none?
I put it in my hair. I mean, but
Oh, damn.
Man.
Nah, Grandma used to give you a teaspoonful of that.
yeah.
Yeah, whenever you get sick, that was it. And that was the worst tasting thing ever.
Right.
But you woke up feeling better though.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what the problem is now? These grandmas today, they be 30, so
Yeah,
they're-
right. Yeah. When
Right.
she's
They don't
36.
know, right?
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, it goes to show though that our forefathers understood medicines. We had knowledge of that. So we didn't destroy people's bodies with manufactured drugs, right? We didn't hurt the earth because we only took what was necessary, for that time that you were sick.
Right.
So, if we went back to that, and if you notice, man, big pharma companies do not want people to know natural remedies.
No,
Dr.
not at
Sebi, the
all.
whole thing was said. Yeah,
Right, right,
Yeah, they do not want that to come out.
right.
All right. So, you had something?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So let's go to this video. Let's pay attention. Pay close attention to what's going on in this.
Friday, January 31st, 2020 at 10:32 p.m., Dr. Fauci gets an email from Christian Anderson. Christian Anderson's a British researcher
Is this the beginning
who's
of the
received
video?
numerous grants from NIH. Two really important sentences are in that email. Two sentences that get Dr. Fauci's attention. The first is this: the unusual features of the virus make up a really small part of the genome. So one has to look really closely at all the sequences to see that some of the features look engineered. Again, this is January 31st, 2020.
Now, pause
Second
that right
sentence,
there. Pause
Eddie,
that.
Bob, Mike, and
Pay attention to that line because this is where the big exposure comes out. The first thing that he read is somebody said that when they looked at it, that they noticed that this thing had to be engineered. Right. This is an email to Dr. Fauci. This thing looks like it had to be engineered.
You're talking about the disease itself, right?
Right. Yeah, the disease itself.
When you see the poster board, he'll exchange out a few poster boards throughout the video, but on the back he has like blown up to a larger font the sentences that basically would convict this man, like, oh, like this looks pretty incriminating, you know, on your part. You know, like he said, you know, Fauci's not talking to some random guy. He's talking to other high-class scientists that work in this field.
Right. So, go ahead.
Myself all find the genome inconsistent with expectations from evolutionary theory. Email arrives 10:32 to Dr. Fauci on January 31st, 2020. 2 hours later at 12:29 in the morning, Dr. Fauci sends an email to his top deputy, Mr. Hugh Auchincloss. Guy's worked for Fauci for 15 years, part of his inner circle. Sends it, subject line says important in all capital letters. He attaches a paper on gain-of-function research written by Dr. Barrick and Dr. Shi. Dr. Shi, of course, is the so-called Bat Lady, Batwoman, the lady who does research in the Wuhan, China lab. This email, Dr. Fauci says, again, to his top deputy, it is essential that we speak this AM. Keep your cell phone on, read this paper. You will have tasks to do today that must be done. Notice the intensity. Notice the focus. I mean, this is the house is on fire email here. Now, 2 hours after that, at 2:48 in the morning, Dr. Fauci's busy this morning. 12:29, that email he sent to Dr. Auchincloss, his top deputy. 2 hours later at 2:48 in the morning, he sends another email, this one to Robert Kadlec, Assistant HHS Secretary, Trump appointee, not part of his inner circle, and he attaches a different article to this email, one that says the virus came from an animal, that downplays any lab leak theory. Now, again, notice the tone of this one. Bob, this just came out today. Gives a balanced view, best, Tony. I mean, totally different from the previous. This is one like, oh, if you get a chance, read this, gives a balanced view. So the tone is different, but also that sentence, gives a balanced view, it's not true either. That's just not accurate. This article downplays, as I said, the lab leak theory, emphasizes evolutionary cause to the virus.
So remember.
What happens?
So at first, the guy from the lab said that, hey, this goes against evolutionary theory. This thing, it looks like it has to be manufactured. It has to be doctored up. Something happened.
Right.
They're having their discussion, but then this person that's outside of that inner circle gets an email that says, hey, watch this, and it's something totally different. And he's saying, see, this is the balanced view. No, it hasn't been doctored.
Right.
But this is all in emails. They pull in all of the emails.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
Next. What happens next? Later that same morning at 11:47 a.m., Dr. Fauci's deputy gets back to him. I just want to read you this whole email. The paper you sent me, the one he sent him on that was written by the virologist from Wuhan, China, and Dr. Barrick, the paper you sent me says the experiments were performed before the gain-of-function pause, but have since been reviewed and approved by NIH. Not sure what that means, since Emily, someone else who works for Dr. Fauci, is sure that no coronavirus work has gone through the P3 framework, which of course is the oversight body that's supposed to approve any grant dollars going for gain-of-function research. No coronavirus work has gone through the P3 framework. Final sentence, she will try to determine if we have any distant ties to this work abroad. She will try to determine if our fingerprints are on any of this. All these emails happen in 13 hours. So 13 hours after Dr. Fauci gets the initial email from Christian Anderson saying, looks like this virus is engineered, not consistent with evolutionary theory, Dr. Fauci knows some important facts. First, Dr. Fauci knows there's a lethal virus on the loose that started in Wuhan, China. Second, he knows the American taxpayers have funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan, China. Third, he knows that the research...
Pause. You got to pause it because it might be going over some people's head.
Right.
He just let y'all know because they've been saying, oh, the virus came from China and blaming Moab, the Chinese man, for the virus. But he just told you, he just admitted we was in China with our lab over there creating the virus.
Right.
And he telling on himself by trying to expose him.
Right.
Go ahead.
Grant didn't go through the required oversight board. Fourth, he knows the virus, quote, looks engineered and, quote, not consistent with evolutionary theory. And finally, fifth, Dr. Fauci knows he may have ties to this work in China. His fingerprints, in fact, may be on this. So what does Dr. Fauci do next? After he says, oh, whatever, what does he do next? He organizes a conference call for later that same day. I mean, this is the busiest 24 hours I think I've ever. He organizes a conference call, 12 people on the call, Dr. Fauci and 11 virologists from around the world. Virologists who've gotten millions of American tax dollars over the past several years. Now look at this list. Here's the list of people. There's only 2 Americans on the list, Tony Fauci and one other. Most of them are from around the world, as I said. I think the first thing you notice is who's not on the call. Who's not on the list? Is Dr. Kadlik on the list? The guy he sent the email to at 3 in the morning?
Nope.
Is Dr. Redfield the head of CDC? Dr. Girard, who's with us today, Assistant Secretary at HHS at the time?
Nope.
Dr. Birx, the lady who's soon to be COVID response coordinator? In fact, there's no one from the government on the call except Tony Fauci. Tony Fauci and 11 other individuals who got a bunch of American tax dollars over the years. What happened on the conference call? The short answer is we don't know. We don't know what they talked about. I mean, I think we got a good idea. We don't know for sure, but we do know what happened 4 days later.
Pause it. Yep. Yeah. There's a reason that he stopped the emails and said, let's do a conference call.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Because the emails are very traceable. You know, government can pull if they wanted to, they can pull the emails.
Right.
Just like
looking at it.
They got them right here. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he said, okay, we got to stop talking about this. Let's not do a regular phone call.
Right.
Let's do this type of conference call.
Right.
That thing is not by coincidence. Esau know what he's doing.
Exactly.
And if you missed it, what the guy's saying right here, he's saying, look at all of these people, all of them, most of them from around the world, 2 Americans. None of them are government officials other than Fauci himself. He said, but the main guy that started all of this, like he said, the busiest 24 hours of Fauci's life, where he's email, he didn't include that guy on the conference call when he was the main one that said, hey, this looks like it was manufactured and our prints might be on it. Fauci, what it's looking like and what this man is proving, looked like Fauci was like, yo, that dude that's talking about that, let's keep him out of the loop on this right here.
Right.
So.
Right.
Hey, go to Sirach 13 and 22. Because it's a consistency that we see with these Edomites, especially in government. If you got a brother that's in government or a sister, as soon as they make the smallest mistake, that thing is on every news network. It's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? But when you got these Edomites, they doing stuff that's killing millions, billions of people. Mm-hmm. Hey, where's Dr. Fauci right now? He ain't in prison. He ain't awaiting trial.
Right, man, chilling.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now.
Read what you got. Verse 22.
The book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 22. When a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers.
So guess what? Dr. Fauci is a rich man. They say when a rich man fall, he got supporters. He can pay people to get him out of certain situations. And that's exactly what they do. Anytime you see these high government officials, when there's some type of scandal or something going on in the news, it always just disappears. They never go to trial, never go to court, never get prison time. It just falls to the back of the scenes.
Right.
They put some stuff on the media so Negroes forget about it. Read.
He speaketh things not to be spoken.
You hear that all the time. They speaking about these things about the jab. You got them talking about certain stuff that they gonna do in politics, things that they should not be touching on.
Right.
Read.
And yet men justify him.
And they still say, well, he has a PhD. He studied for this many years. Mm-hmm. He's Dr. Fauci. He's the head of all doctors.
Hey, Bill Gates. He ain't got nothing to do with medicine.
Nothing.
Exactly.
But when they this is a billionaire. What do you mean? He's one of the most smartest men ever. They equate your riches with what they should be.
With
your
knowledge.
Yeah, and with your health. Like,
and you know what I equate that with? Remember during 2008, 2009 when America was going through its depression, right? Mm-hmm. And you had companies that was too big to fail. Mm-hmm. You know, you had banks that was too big to fail.
Right.
Equate that with Dr. Fauci in this type of predicament, right? He's too big to fail. Right. He know too much information.
Right.
So if we without him, who will we turn to?
Right.
So they, we just to see where it goes.
Right. Hey, or it could even be this. They're like, we can't really convict Dr. Fauci because he know everything we've been doing.
Exactly.
You know
That's what I mean.
Like, this is our guy.
Fail.
Right. That's America's guy. That's what they didn't put this dude like, you the poster of the jab and how to solve this.
Right. Because if he go down, He taking us with
everybody
him.
down. So hey, the only thing they can do is what they do to everybody else: kill them, disappear, or whatever the case may be.
Hey, you see what they did? They the ones that's behind blocking out most of their information. Esau come in and okay, you can't use this. We're gonna block this out. This block all of this. You can't see this. This is classified information.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, give me Isaiah 32:7. And actually read 5 and then jump down to 7.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 32 and verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal.
So a vile person. Vile means a disgusting person, because these people are a disgusting people, right? The vile person shall no more be called liberal. A vile is extremely unpleasant, of little worth, of little value. He's a vile person. Go ahead.
Nor the churl said to be bountiful.
And the churl shall not be said to be bountiful. Go ahead.
Verse 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil.
The instruments of the churl. Now, a churl person is again, it's another word like the vile, right? He's just low peasant, low degree, nobody really to be esteemed, right? And we looking at this in the spiritual eye. These are the lowest people on earth. Right. Right. This is the dirtiest, the most wickedest of the wickedest. Like in Maccabees when it says, and wickedness and evil was multiplied. Yeah, wickedness shall increase. Evil was multiplied when these people came into power in the earth, right? Right. So it says, read it again.
Verse 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil.
So the instruments of a mean-spirited, evil person are evil. Go ahead.
He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words.
Like this that we seeing right now. He's using lying words to deceive the people and to destroy us, right? Because everybody knows, like you were saying, you've got people around you who took the jab and saying that they got to take a day off at least because the next day is going to knock them off their feet.
Right.
Yet, for some reason, they still go down there and get it after they heard 100 people say, this ain't good.
Right.
Right? They destroying people. Go ahead.
It says, even when the needy speaketh right.
Even when the needy. We're the needy. We are the needy people. So even when we speak right and we say, hey, that's not good, bro. You might not want to deal with that jab. It's somebody else sliding in there behind you with all of the TV propaganda. And, rappers now advocating for it. You know what they say? Jab that ass up. Come on, Juvenile. Come on, man. For real?
They even got Boosie. Like right when they first started, they had movies all on Netflix, Hulu, to put the fear in people, so they'd go out and get the jab.
Right.
All of that stuff.
Black people ain't never got no shot before. Then they want to go out there and get the
right.
Right.
I like what officer said about the lying words. Right. Go to Psalms 58:3. Psalms 58:3.
The book of Psalms, chapter 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Because remember, when the Edomites took over, right, with Alexander the Greek, right, what wickedness was multiplied on the earth, right?
Right.
Read that again.
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
So you know who he's talking about. Fauci them.
Right.
That's who the wicked is. Read.
Right. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
And they still doing it. From the day of their birth, they've been lying since they crying.
Right.
When they was crying, they was lying. Stop lying.
No tears coming at your
No
eyes.
tears.
Like what's his name that just got off?
Kyle
Rittenhouse. Yeah, he won
the little murderer. That's it.
Rittenhouse.
Little killer.
Little killer. Yeah.
Little killer.
Hey, read verse 4.
Verse 4, it says, their poison is like the poison of a serpent.
In this case, they poison spinach. Yeah. In this point, that poison will be their jab.
Literal.
It's like the poison of a serpent. And you know the thing about a serpent is before it injects this poison, you don't see it coming. Right. You might even think that it's not a dangerous snake because they look. A dangerous snake can look like a damn garden snake.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right. But read on.
They are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ears.
Because you see all these people that are dying from this disease. And people dying after they get the vaccine. But they don't give a damn. They act like they don't see it. They don't care.
Don't see it, don't hear it, nothing. They just want that monster to develop that they created in the lab. They just want to see him produce like it's Frankenstein. Just keep living. Oh, it's another variant. Oh, this is marvelous. This is great. They getting off on this thing, bro. They wicked.
Right. Hey, what Ice Cube say on Friday? They don't. I mean, what was that movie?
Either they
don't know.
Boys in the Hood.
Yeah,
Don't
Boys in the
show.
Hood. They don't know. They don't show. Or don't give a damn. Yeah,
Don't give a damn about what's going on in the hood.
That's it.
He was about 3-4 years old, so
yeah.
excuse him, kid. You don't really know the code, but you did good though.
That was a good one.
I
That's
appreciate
a good one.
it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, let it
You
play.
ain't got the answers, man.
We've got a good idea. We don't know for sure, but we do know what happened 4 days later. 4 days later, February 4th, 2020, Christian Anderson, the guy who started it all, who said the virus looks engineered, Christian Anderson said this 4 days later. The crackpot theories going around at the moment relate to this virus being somehow engineered. That is demonstrably false. Close quote.
Oh,
What?
you hear that?
Wow.
Crack pipe.
You hear that?
The same
No, the
guy.
crack pot.
The crack pot.
Yeah, the same guy. So what he's saying, the same guy that sent Fauci that first email saying, hey, what I'm looking at and what all of our men over here looking at, small parts of this looks like it's been engineered, meaning somebody been messing with it. He said a few days
4
later,
days later.
4 days later, he come back and he right in front of TV like, these conspiracy theories basically.
Right.
Basically say this is a conspiracy theories.
Right.
This is natural. This is just what it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And the proof that they got power is you can bring the same information out on Facebook Live and they'll ban the
Get shut
video.
down.
They'll get shut
Yo,
down.
hey, him not being included on that conference call, I wouldn't doubt that the dude Fauci must have called somebody. Hey, you might want to speak to this dude because he might be somebody we might run into problems with. Somebody came over and gave him a visit, like, hey, all that stuff that you talking about, don't worry about where I got the information from, but you need to come on. You need the next time you talk about this, you need to say A, B, and C.
Yeah.
He go up there and say, hey, A, B, and C.
Be like that movie Enemy of the State. Hey, meet me out here at the park by the water. Yep. All right, hey, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna take a commercial break. So hey, everybody, stay tuned. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Hey, thanks for letting us know, y'all. Hey, we wasn't sure we was on. Everybody scared to move? I'm nervous as shit.
Download the app today. Shalom. Check it out.
IUIC Boom Cards are fun, interactive digital activity quiz cards for children ages 2 through 10. Our Boom Cards offer an educational product that is the first of its kind. We have decks in English and Spanish, tailor-made for young Israelites to learn our history and commandments. You can use them in your homeschool classroom and after-school assignments, or even on the go. The intuitive, easy-to-maneuver digital learning features found on our Boom Cards are self-correcting, allowing children to learn without their parents' help. Anytime you have an internet connection, you can fill your child's idle time with profitable and true biblical teaching. You can access IUIC Boom Cards on any mobile device or computer at www.boomlearning.com/author/IUIC. You can also download the Boom Cards app on the Apple App Store, Google Play Store, or even on your Kindle. Righteous digital activities and study tools for your children are now available through IUIC Boom Cards.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.
We are back. We are back. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is the second portion, the second half of In the Scripts Reloaded. And we were going over earlier Senator Jim Jordan's proof that Fauci lied about the
manufacturing
knowledge.
About the knowledge. Yeah, about the knowledge of what's going around, hurting the earth right now.
Right.
And if you want to see the rest of that, you can pull that up, man. It's just a couple of minutes, about another minute and a half, I think, was left in the video. But it was pretty compelling evidence, though, to be honest.
It's not.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's on.
I like what Ron Paul was getting into when he was putting Fauci on the hot seat.
Oh, Ron Paul, something serious.
Yeah, so hopefully, man, we get to the bottom of it. I doubt if we ever do, but hopefully we get a little bit more information than what we have now.
Right.
With what I like, just towards the end of the video, whenever y'all go and y'all watch it, what he says, he was like, "Yo, we got all this proof that's looking a little bad on Fauci's part." He was like, "But he's not here." He was like, "We invited him. He said he invited damn near everybody on that list to come and defend. What are these emails that they're contrary to what you've been saying in the public, but ain't nobody coming up to speak about it."
They got sense, bro. Ain't no better.
But look, though, here's how you know the difference in their understanding of the law and our understanding of the law. Because for real, if we summon somewhere and it's the government, we like, bruh, I'm going. We don't want no problems, you feel me? But they like, I ain't even showing up, man. What y'all need to talk about? Oh, nah, I'm good. I ain't coming.
They say, if it's that serious, speak to my lawyer about it.
Speak to my lawyer. That's what they're going to hit. Yeah. They speak to my lawyer.
So it's crazy, man.
That's all right. Judgment Day coming for them, though.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They think they getting away, but they ain't got away.
No, not at all. Not at all. But what I want to touch on now, man, is go back through. Last week we were talking about something. We were talking about the amount of garbage that the average American puts out.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember that? Y'all remember what
they said about 5? What is it? 5 pounds? Was it 5 pounds?
It was like four and a half pounds. Almost 5 pounds. Yeah, almost 5. So the average American on the daily cast away like 5 pounds of garbage. And so you got to think, if we're casting away 5 pounds of garbage, how much garbage are we actually taking in that we would have 5 pounds to throw away? Right. Like that's showing that we are major consumers. And it shows the programming that we live under.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They got to coverage the spirit, so it's weighing off on us.
Right.
It's fading off on us.
My bad.
And we ain't even got no money.
Right. Hey, to that point, I will never forget this. I can still see it in my head. I was a teenager, and hold your jokes. I was a teenager, and I was working at.
I got a word, though.
I got a word. I seen it on his face. He couldn't wait. He was just looking for the moment. Anyway, I was a teenager, and it was Thanksgiving. I was working at a Dallas Cowboys game, and I was working in the kitchen, and they was having food or whatever, right? And after the end of the night, it was like the workers, y'all just take whatever y'all want. Y'all can eat it or whoop-de-whoop. But everything else that y'all not going to eat, throw it away. Don't take it out of the building. When I tell you, I firsthand seen about 20 pounds of food being, probably more than that, 20 pounds of food being thrown away. I was like, bruh, I still see this in my head. It was like the food could have fed the whole congregation with leftovers. That's how much it was. Like, I was like, bruh, they just wasting food. Like,
damn. Yeah. So in this video, so we're going to go back through this video that we had started watching last week. And it's about overconsumption, right? It's about being gluttonous, right? Point blank. It's about being covetous, gluttonous, so forth and so on. So let's dig into this. Let's see what they got to say.
In order to solve climate change, we need to fix capitalism. And I don't want to go crazy with this. Capitalism has a lot of good things, but this overconsumption is the poison of capitalism, man. That is the worst thing that has that fucking system. It's just driving people to do and buy shit that they don't need. Look, it's easier to make a widget and sell it 1 million times than design a widget that can last longer and be used more times.
So you see, pause that. Overconsumption. The action or fact of consuming something to excess. The action or fact of consuming something to excess, which basically goes into gluttony or covetous, meaning taking in more than what you need. You're over-consuming, right? Go ahead.
You growing up and being able to buy what you want, not what you need, is a problem that happens only in developed societies. So again, the US, 4% of the population, but about 16% of the global emissions. People throw the garbage out. Just go and look. Brand new chairs, brand new printers, things that are pretty new that in my country, in Argentina, would have never been thrown out. That is overconsumption. You don't need to do that. But again, I don't blame the consumer per se. I think the companies are overproducing and pushing products that people really don't need because they need to sell, they need to grow, they need to push the bottom line. Everything needs. They have obligations to their shareholders, and that's the driving factor. So consumers have limited choices. Even if they want to do the right thing, they can only do as good as the options they have in front of us. So I think the greater responsibility lies on the companies that are creating those products that consumers buy. In our case, we consider everything, and we're designing the vehicle thinking about that whole life cycle. So we look at optimizing the way we use materials at the beginning, the way we manufacture using less parts, so it takes the least amount of time to make things. But we also design it in a way that it's easy to service and maintain, so each vehicle can stay in the road for 30 plus months.
And so then pause that. All right, so let's look at this. Bring that out.
It says beyond product life cycle. So it says manufacturing. There's 3 stages. It's the mining, production, and shipping. This is
And this is, you said beyond product life cycle, right? So this is the life cycle that any particular product has, right? This is from the time that it's manufactured and how it's recycled, right?
Hey, officer, before you go ahead, notice the first one say mining. When you mine, you going into the earth. You doing something to the earth. So everything that we see, everything that we use, no matter what it is, it starts with the earth.
Starts with the earth.
Right.
Right.
It says first life cycle, which can reach to about 5,000 miles. The use and maintenance of that product that's been made. The rebirth cycle is the refurbishing of it. And the second life would be the use and then recycling of it.
But this is the thing. Everything doesn't get recycled. Right. So if you don't recycle everything, you got to go back to the first stage, which is mining. So again, you're going back into the earth, and you're not putting nothing in to replace that. So they literally killing the earth.
Right. Yeah, because without them producing, there's no money made.
Right.
There's no money made, right? Give me Sirach 26 and 29. Sirach 26 and 29.
Bring it out.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 29. A merchant shall hardly keep himself from doing wrong.
A merchant will hardly keep himself from doing wrong. So they give you this whole picture of y'all may not remember, but about 20 years ago, 20 to 25 years ago, they really started pushing recycling. So like 20 years ago, they started giving everybody recycling bins, right? Well, you would think, how could we have overconsumption if there's recycling bins, and why would there be a need to continue to pull stuff from the earth if everything is actually being recycled.
Right.
So it goes back to what Karim is saying. They don't actually recycle everything. Right. They would just rather keep pulling and pulling and pulling and taking and taking and taking,
right,
so that they keep everything going, right? Like their idea is simply to destroy the earth. So a merchant shall hardly keep himself from doing wrong. Go ahead.
And an huckster shall not be freed from sin.
And a huckster, meaning a hustler, a person who was all about getting it,
right,
shall not be freed from sin. Why? Because covetousness comes with being a merchant if you don't keep yourself in line with the laws of God.
Right. And what the guy just said, you know, they try to be diplomatic about it. He said, yeah, capitalism is the cause of it. And then immediately he shows some pictures of some Edomites. We know Esau is the one behind that capitalism, like you said. Officer, they only intent is to make money. So if with the things that they have, like we talk about the recycling, he said in the video, you can make a app that functions well, and it'll last for 10, 20 years, so on and so forth. You know, like the Facebooks, Instagram, whatever the case is. But he said it's much easier to make money if I make an app that I know will get 1 million downloads that's trash, and I know, you know, boom, I just got 1 million downloads. I'm $10 million richer. Let's move on to the next thing.
Right.
So he's letting you know it's the system itself is based on covetousness.
Right. Exactly. For example, cell phones. Man, come on, man. You don't need a different cell phone every year.
Yeah.
Every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And you know the thing with the Apple phone too, because that's the biggest one out supposedly, is when they drop a new phone, one of the latest ones, they stop letting you get updates on it. So you gotta get a new phone.
They say the technology old and outdated. You like,
Right.
that was 2
They do
years
the
ago.
same thing.
You're like, what are you talking about?
That's the huckster, man.
do
They
that.
huckster.
That's the
Yeah, that's the huckster.
Hey, let's look at that definition. Can y'all pull that? Huckster. Huckster. Let's see what a huckster is.
And we the biggest consumers.
We the big, right.
Hey, I know why. I want to backdate your script after we pull this off.
Okay. And y'all know where where most of that money is spent, right?
Where, in the black community?
Technology.
50% of retail earnings happen in a 30-day period of the year. 50% of what they earn every year happens in a 30-day period. That's from Black Friday to Christmas Eve.
Sheesh.
30 days, 50% of what they earn for the year comes from those 30 days.
Right. It says huckster, a noun, a person who sells small items, either door to door or from a stall or small store. Let's see.
North American.
There you go. It says promote or sell something, typically a product of questionable value. Bargain, haggle.
Hey, jump up. Jump up to that one.
Which one is it?
Right.
Oh, it says a mercenary person eager to make a profit out of anything.
Anything. That's what a huckster is. So the Bible says that an huckster shall not be freed from sin.
Right.
That's what we live in. That's who we're dealing with as a people.
Right. Hey, go to Sirach chapter 37 and verse 10. Because you said that's who we're dealing with as a people. That's a big deal. And the Lord tell us what type of people to counsel with, to get advice from, so on and so forth. Read what you got.
The book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 10.
Start at verse 11.
Verse 11. Neither consult with a woman touching her of whom she is jealous.
Read. So the Bible say don't counsel with one woman about another woman that she's jealous of. Read.
Neither with a coward in matters of war.
Read.
Nor with a merchant concerning exchange.
So guess what? We as black people, we go to these billionaires and we see, oh, they got all the wisdom, they got all the advice. So everything they do, we try to pattern our lifestyles after them.
Right.
The Lord said don't counsel or consult or take their advice or copy their lifestyle.
Right.
Read.
Nor with a buyer of selling.
Guess what? We see all these people, like they even got a show called Shark Tank. The Lord said, don't counsel with these people about how to run your life. Because us trying to follow them, we helping them kill the earth that the Lord made for us. They don't give a damn about killing the earth because they got to go anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, you finish
Yes,
this
sir,
one? Because I want to land back that. That's heavy, right? Go to, let's prove that. Matthew chapter 6. Matthew chapter 6. Give me verse 31 and 32.
The book of Matthew, chapter 6 and verse 31. Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or wherewithal shall we be clothed?
So it's not supposed to be in us to be concerned about what we're going to eat, what we're going to drink, and what we're going to wear, right? Because God created the entire earth for us. It was made for Israel. And if we had kept those commandments, remember, under David and Solomon, you heard about no famine.
Right.
You didn't hear about people just dropping dead, from having to work too hard and so forth and so on.
Right.
So when we rule the kingdom, we actually going to be set. So the Bible is telling us that we were never supposed to worry about food, drink, and clothing.
Right.
Those are chief things, right? But watch verse 32.
Verse 32. For after all these things do the Gentiles seek.
But the Gentiles spend their time worrying about food, drink, and clothing. They want to eat big. They want the big, constant laid out feast.
Right.
We didn't come up with the all-you-can-eat buffet.
Right.
That's not a Negro thing.
The scripture tells us not to eat all you can eat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Literally, it say that.
Right.
Yeah.
That is not from us.
Right.
But it said the Gentiles seek to these things.
Right.
So when we learn as a people to transform our mind and we come back to the scriptures of God, then we get away from that mentality of the Gentiles and stop following these ways. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Let's read the next verse. Read verse 33.
Verse 33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God.
And that's what we ain't been seeking. We ain't been seeking the kingdom first. We've been seeking to follow after all these nations. Now we buying. We the biggest consumers.
Bring it out.
All this money that we be spending, we ain't got no schools for ourselves. We ain't got no hospitals.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We ain't got none of this for ourselves, but yet we got 100 pair of Jordans in our closet.
Right.
We got all the PlayStations with all the games.
Right.
Everything with Gucci and Louis Vuitton. These Edomites hate us.
All the
But
fake,
we
all
want
the
to wear their
fake jewelry.
Right.
We seeking to follow after the Gentiles. We can't do that. We got to seek the kingdom first.
It's those rappers too, man. When you speak like that covers your spirit. You know what I mean? Those rappers, they helping the Edomites out too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm starting to hate rap music. I swear for cheese and crackers.
That's all right. I mean, if you buy that album by that guy named Kareem.
Oh, right on. Talking about the Juice Man.
Yeah, the Juice Man.
The Juice Man. We got the juice.
Damn, I tried. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
All praises.
I thought you were talking about the juice box.
Right.
No.
Now, Fredo, if you tired of purchasing, go to Original Royalty and cop some of these albums, man.
There it is.
Right,
there it is.
right.
Hey, he wanted to cut that off quick. He like, we ain't talking
You
about
want
the
to cover
juice box,
something, man? Cover something that's righteous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All praises, man. Hey, let's go back to the video.
Have a second life somewhere else. And the environmental impact, all that energy that took to make the product, really provided value to humanity for a long time.
Hold on, pause. Maybe I'm missing something. Did he just say we provided value to humanity for a long time?
Yeah,
Who was he talking about? Who provided value to humanity for a long time? Because it ain't them.
No.
The scriptures say Genesis 4:12. Esau has not provided no value to us since they've been in rulership.
That's right.
Hey, but this dude, I believe he's of another nation. He's not Esau. Because if you heard him a minute ago, he was like, in my home country, we never experienced stuff like this.
Right.
So it's similar. I mean, we read up in the scripture where it say they like the deaf adder. Right. Other nations, quote unquote, developed nations, they are getting together and was like, yo, we seeing changes over here. What's going on? And then they looking at Esau in America like, hey, y'all responsible. It's like having a roommate. And he didn't junked up damn near the whole room. You like, hey, bro, you gonna clean up some of your stuff? But they looking at you and it's like, it is what it is. Yeah, hey, you better clean it up.
Hey, but you know, Esau, they be like, no, Negro, I'm helping you. If you want a sock, just pick my sock up off the floor. You know what I'm saying? But read that.
He say, what mess?
Right.
What you said, Genesis what?
4:12.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4 and verse 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength.
So when you examine the way that the world is running right now, the earth is not yielding her strength for this kingdom, for America, for the white man. Why? Because the first step is mining. They always digging into the ground and taking something out, but they not putting nothing back in. So the earth is not yielding forth to her strength. As a matter of fact, I remember when I was a kid, hold your joke. When I was a kid, my grandma and them, they used to have like peach trees. Like they used to have peach.
Yeah.
When's the last time you seen a peach tree?
Exactly.
All that stuff they spray in the sky is killed.
It's killing them. I remember when I was a kid, I used to be able to go outside and drink out the water hose.
Right.
Used to have honey, so
We had
to. You had to.
Yeah,
Hey, you drink out the water hose now.
Right.
You ain't going back.
Hey, you gonna fall over with lockjaw, bro.
So the scripture tells us that the earth is not yielding her strength for Esau. Read.
A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth.
Read. I mean, that's it. So
All praises. All right, let it play.
Some good
People
points.
can stay in the road for 30 plus months and then can go and have a second life somewhere else. And the environmental impact, all that energy that took to make the product, really provided value to humanity for a long time.
All right. So, hey, let's kill that right there because I want to show something. Another one of those things that's been done in the earth is what they feed us, right? And it shows, first, somebody read for me Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. Exodus chapter 11. Get the video from the bottom of the page that I put up. Cue that up real quick.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11 and verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel.
No, I'm sorry, Leviticus. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Yeah. My bad. Leviticus.
You in camo. That's all good, officer.
Yeah.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven-footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
He is unclean. Jump up to verse number 2.
Verse 2.
Let's see what this is talking about.
Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
So God gave us specific things on earth that we were supposed to eat, right?
That's right.
And the way that God set up the earth is the earth was supposed to function perfectly as long as we function perfect within it, right? So this is a system that shows what these animals were actually created for. So for anybody that's watching that doesn't understand this law that we're not supposed to eat these, you're going to see what they're being used for in Vegas. And in time, what they're going to return to be being used for. All right, let that play.
Pigs are a lot like us, so they love sweets, you know, candies, ice cream. They like meat and potatoes, right? They put some meat on them. They're not a big fan of salads and produce, but they will eat it.
Damn, he said a lot right there. Damn.
He just got a lot of Negroes just now.
Right.
Yeah. He said, damn, I got the characteristics
Hey,
of a pig.
what they say, you are what you eat.
Right.
Oh, damn,
Right.
damn, for real.
Go ahead, play it.
On them. They're not a big fan of salads and produce, but they will eat it.
And just like a lot of us, it's hard to find food right now. While shoppers are scrambling at the supermarkets, these pigs are waiting patiently for their next meal.
Leftovers, food scraps, things that spoil or can't be fed to humans.
From plates to pigs, these guys are used to getting our leftovers from the strip.
Probably somewhere around 20 tons a day normally.
Hank Combs calls
You hear
Las
that?
Vegas
20 tons.
20 tons of food. So, you know, at a all-you-can-eat buffet, they have to keep switching stuff out.
Yes.
They have food. Like you saw that whole container of mushrooms sitting there, untouched. 20 tons of food. So some of it is scraps, you know, from leftovers from people.
Right.
But all of the food that they don't sell, they can't just give it away to people.
Right.
Like it's unlawful to give it away.
Right.
They have to dump it. And these pigs are being used to get rid of the waste and the trash in Vegas.
Right.
Because that's their purpose.
Right. That's what they good for.
Right.
My man said the stuff that humans will, the things that we will not eat, they will eat it.
They'll eat it.
He even said like most of it be old, like molding or growing. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And then Negroes turn around and eat them.
They said, oh, you don't eat pork? You a Muslim or something?
Right. Hey, now you said, boy, if you tell them you don't eat pork, they be like, you vegan or something?
You vegan?
What the hell?
Like, yeah, bro, I said I don't eat pork,
You
bro.
vegan?
What do you eat then, brother?
Right.
Hey, what's one of the slickest slogans, though, that you can think of that they came up with in the 90s?
The new white meat.
There it is. Pork, the new white meat. And they made it look all succulent and juicy, you know, and Negroes are sitting there like, man, damn, I think I do want
So
me
that
some
happened
pork
in the
on.
90s, damn.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And we used to have a hog pen, and guess what we fed them? Slop.
Slop. Yeah.
You saying y'all used to have a hog pen?
Yeah, back in the country. Yeah, back in the country.
When you say slop, the leftovers and stuff that y'all don't
what
want.
it sounds like.
Slop.
Slop.
Yeah. Whatever you didn't eat, or if it went bad, let's say you ate watermelons. Nobody eats the rinds. So you take the rinds and you just got a bucket, and you take everything that you don't eat, scrape it off into that bucket. And Grandma and Papa was adamant, boy. Hey, boy, you better throw that stuff in the slop pot.
Right.
And you put it in the slop pot, and then you go out there, man. You dump it in there for the hogs, and the hogs will rush in like linebackers.
The Most High already has a system for us to recycle and how things, go about their natural life cycle. But Esau's like, oh no, that pig, nah, we need that.
need to eat
We can sell that. Capitalism again. We can sell that. It makes some more money off of it.
Right. And then too, you think the scriptures say all things are good. That's what the scripture is talking about.
Right.
Because nothing goes to waste. Even when you look at the unclean fish, all the water be contaminated because there ain't no damn shrimp in the sea.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, go to Genesis. Go to Genesis 1 and let's go to 31.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 31. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good.
So he made that hog, he made that pig, he made the crab, he made the lobster. It was good for what he made it for.
Right.
Not for our consumption.
Right.
That's all I want to know now.
And then the so-called white man, what they do is they make it so cheap. And ain't no black people and Hispanics, we ain't got no money like that.
Right.
So they make it convenient for us to go and get, because you can't go and get lamb on a daily basis.
Right.
No, you can't go and go get bison on a daily basis. That stuff is expensive. You know what I mean?
And it's hard to find. You can, my bad.
No. Now, what I was about to say was heavy with that because we got that spirit on us of Esau, and they got that overconsumption spirit. Esau already know they gonna want to overconsume as well.
Oh yeah,
make that lamb most expensive. They gonna be like, oh, I can only get about 4 of those. That ain't gonna be enough to feed my family for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, whatever wicked holiday they get together. Make that pork $2 a gallon or I don't know how much it is, but they make it super cheap because they understand that spirit of covetousness is on them, and they want, and we're gonna overconsume just like they doing.
Hey, you'll be surprised how many brothers and sisters have never had lamb before.
Yeah.
Real. I never had it until I came into the truth.
Facts.
Same. But hey, I be around people, like I was around my mama and them. This is probably some years ago. And I was like, hey, y'all want to eat some lamb? I'll grill it.
Lamb?
Lamb.
They do that soldier boy.
Right.
Lamb?
That's how they was looking at me like, boy, you ain't got no cool back there.
They got you eating lamb over there?
Right.
Like you eating a damn pig.
Right. But that's us on this side, though, because if you meet our brothers from across the water in Africa, lamb and goat is regular for them, man. Like, I have clients that come in and they'll be like, hey, man, where can I buy a lamb? Where can I buy a goat? And I'm like, bro, I don't know. How the hell I'm going to know where to go buy a goat? But I found out, though, that there are farms, though, and it's actually African guys or so-called African guys, like Nigerian guys, who set up little farms out in the little rural areas, and you can actually go to them and buy lamb and goat from them, and it's fresh. Like they raise it like they raise it like they would raise it over there. Yeah. So you actually can buy that stuff now. I didn't know that until they started saying it.
That's what's up.
So yeah. Y'all was saying something. Give me 2nd Esdras 16. 2nd Esdras 16, verse number 19. Because, what we're going into, again, is dealing with hurting the earth, right? These things that are hurting the earth.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment.
So these things are being set in place to whip us in shape, right? That famine is set in place to whip us in shape. Why? Because in a famine, you have less food. We hear the bishop all the time right now saying you need to learn to consume less.
Right.
Consume less. Stock up on what you need, but then learn to eat less. Start learning how to fast more so that your body doesn't need food all the time. You train yourself. So these things are set to whip us in shape as scourges, right? Let's see what these, verse 20.
Verse 20. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges.
So it said, but for these things, Negroes still are not going to repent from their sins. From their sins. The very next verse is going to list the sin that people fall into, and it deals with that famine. Read.
Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth.
Food is going to be so good and cheap on earth that what are we going to begin to do?
That they shall think themselves to be in good case.
Now, why do they think themselves to be in good case?
Because you can go to Walmart and you got them food stamps.
You ain't even got to go to Walmart. You can get it delivered to you.
Groceries,
right.
You know what I mean?
You can overconsume. You a glutton and never putting your mind on the fact, like it said, nor always mindful of the scourges. just because you've got the food there to have does not mean you eat it all.
What they call it comfort eating. Is that what they
Comfort
call
eating,
it? Comfort eating. It's pandemic going on. People dying left and right. You got fired because you ain't trying to take the jab or whatever. But you over there. Hey, I got a fridge full of pork.
Right.
They just had Thanksgiving last week.
Yeah.
And everything good.
Yeah.
Our people.
So this is set. This is a thing that they've put in place because they wise as hell, right? They wise as Daniel.
Yes, sir.
Right. Wise as Daniel.
So also with all this evil going on, with our people sucking on the paps of Esau's breasts, right? Giving them food stamps, right, so they can go shop or whatever, right? But they're not people not watching the news. They're not seeing what's going on with Russia and China.
Right.
They're not seeing what's going on with Ukraine and Taiwan.
Right.
They're not seeing these things, so they think everything is good right now.
Right.
They don't see that in some of these grocery stores, it ain't no real food in there.
Right.
It's stuff acting like it's real food, but it's not.
But
To
not
take
real.
the place of real food, right?
Hey, finish that verse 21 because that's exactly what's going on.
It says, and even then shall evils grow upon earth.
Read that again from the top.
Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth.
So victuals, food is going to be so good and cheap upon earth. Go ahead.
That they shall think themselves to be in good case.
And so everybody think we balling. We got big food in the refrigerator, right? Pantry just overflowing with snacks and
We just had Thanksgiving, boy. We had so much groceries.
What they say, we gon' eat.
we eat. Right. Read.
And even then shall evils grow upon earth. Sword, famine, and great confusion.
While we're eating and over-consuming all of that food, we ain't looking at the fact that China and Russia just built allies, you know what I'm saying, are getting stronger. We're not looking at the fact that now in Germany and in New York and in Dubai or close to Dubai, they're building something called a one religion church.
Right.
That's supposed to take all religions and mesh them together as one. And everybody will have to fall under that system, no matter what it is you believe. The atheist is gonna have to sit in the same room with the Christian.
Now they got football season still on, so Negroes is like, hey, all I need, I'm eating, I'm betting on this football game, and I'm good.
Right.
Hey, also to y'all point, I was watching like this little infographic show on, and it was talking about North Korea and how they keep all their citizens censored on everything that's going out, and outside of North Korea, they can only see certain things on their laptops, phones, whatever the case may be. And as I was watching it, it was talking about North Korea, and I was like, bro, America is the same way.
Right.
America don't have normal Americans don't know what's going on across Asia.
Right.
And to find it, you really got to do research. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
And even when you do research, like if I Google what's happening in China, they not gonna tell me everything.
Right.
Right. And that campaign, fake news. Remember that came up, what was that, 6 years ago now? When Hat Hair
They hated him.
and everything was fake news. So
Right.
you didn't go to see what was going, because a lot of people will look to see at least Al Jazeera or somebody
right.
and kind of see what's going on because people had started being quote unquote woke,
Right.
and seeing that there was stuff going on, and yeah, they shot all that down now.
If our people woke, they sleepwalking.
Right.
They sleepwalking.
Right.
With all this stuff going on, you got to turn into the Bible and know that we the Israelites.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to be lost. You don't know what's going on in the earth. When everything takes place, guess whose side you're going to be on? Your oppressor side. Yeah. Guess whose side we going to be on? The Most High in Christ. That's right. That's who we rolling with. Right. But our people, since they ain't watching, since they sleeping, since they like all this, these victuals,
Right.
and stuff like that, they think they good.
In the country, they call them vittles.
They like them vittles.
Yeah.
You know how we be on the streets? You be like, hey, bro, take this fly. No, I'm good. They good.
It ain't.
Yeah.
Right.
They like it here.
Yeah. Right. Read that verse 22.
Verse 22. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine.
So the Lord is telling us, this is going to happen one day. Right. A lot of times our people, especially in the church, read the Bible like, this already happened millions of years ago. But the scriptures say that his judgment like a rain. This thing is going to happen again. It's going to come a time, leadership been going over for the last couple of months. Right. It's going to come a time when people will die from famine. Right. And a lot of people, they think that that's far reach.
Right.
Hold that, my bad, Ezekiel 12:27. While we here, Ezekiel 12:27. And this is the problem with our people when we read these scriptures.
Bring it out.
Got it?
27.
Yep.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 12 and verse 27. Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, The vision that he seeth is for many days to come.
So a lot of our people think that the prophecies that leadership go over in these Bibles, that already happened, or that's not going to happen for another 300, 400 years.
Right.
Meanwhile, these things are right down the street.
Right.
These things are happening right now as we breathe and living and speaking.
Right.
So that's the problem. We read these prophecies and we literally live in them, but a lot of our people think, oh, Christ ain't coming back next week, next month, next year.
We got famine.
Famine. We good. We just came from Walmart.
Yeah.
We just got to reload on the food stamp card.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the problem. So the Lord going to start pushing these judgments out. They got to come out.
They like to say, oh, man, that's back in biblical days.
Right.
Yep. When have you ever picked up the Bible and read the Bible, though?
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Never.
Boy,
Never.
even when they say that's back in biblical days, that shows you they don't believe the Bible.
Right.
We still live in biblical days.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they ain't never read
Yeah.
it.
Right.
You a good Christian, but these ain't still biblical days.
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
Come on.
They still preaching prosperity. When this the time of Jacob's trouble.
Right.
And they teaching prosperity, man. You better get you some groceries and stock up.
Right.
You better get you some. What's that? When the Edomites when they try what's that
Doomsday
show?
Preppers.
That Doomsday Prepping.
Yeah,
you better start watching some of them Edomites.
Yeah, facts.
Start
Hey.
following that.
Hey, me and the brother, I think it was Officer Zion. He was at my crib the other day, and we was watching Doomsday Preppers. And I was like, bruh, I would think I was just showing him my closet. Then we was watching the Doomsday Preppers. I was like, damn, we ain't ready.
No.
For real.
We gotta have faith in Christ, brother.
Hey, Esau been prepping before we came in the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they've been prepping for a minute.
For real, for real.
But hey, it's better to start than not to start. You
Yeah.
got to start somewhere.
For real. All right, hey, so let's take this down. Let's go, because we still want to look more at what's going on. So besides overconsumption, there's another thing in this earth that is destroying this earth, right? And we want to deal with it. Go to that next video, the unexplained. The unexplained.
And you know what, officer, why we look for that? These are facts. It's not conspiracy. These are facts.
Right.
This is what's happening right now. This is prophecy coming true.
That's right.
All right, let it play.
Oxford University, July 2008. A panel of experts from the Future of Humanity Institute published the results of a survey regarding the global catastrophic risks that humanity will face in the 21st century.
Pause that right there. If y'all don't understand that this man is the damn devil, because who sits down and just thinks about global catastrophic risks,
Right.
and does a survey on it?
The people that's gonna cause it. The people that's causing it. Right.
The wicked.
The one that's behind it.
Yeah, right. Let it play.
Of Humanity Institute published the results of a survey regarding the global catastrophic risks that humanity will face in the 21st century. The results of the questionnaire are both surprising and concerning, because the experts agree that there is a 1 in 5 chance of human extinction before the year 2100.
Damn. Now pause. This is BS. This is the part that we know they put this out there as propaganda for everybody else to run around scared, right?
Right.
So that they can use their huckster system on everybody else.
Right.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk and other people are building all of these things and telling you, well, we can go to the moon and we can go to Mars. And that way, if a nuclear war, remember, we just watched this, 2 weeks ago?
Last week.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
If a nuclear war happens on Earth, or when, because he didn't say if,
Right.
he said when World War III breaks out on Earth,
Right.
those that are on the moon, it might affect them. But those that are on Mars, it definitely won't affect them. And then we'll be able to wait until everything is done and come back down and repopulate the Earth.
Unless we fly up there and get their ass. Then
Man,
they're
hey,
gonna be done for.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hey, you're going to see a lot of,
Right.
a bunch of black superheroes in purple and gold.
Right. Hey,
Them-
Negroes
them-
on the moon.
Yeah, right.
Them same black dudes that Edomite seen, and he was like,
Yeah,
when
it is.
it's a video. Y'all want to pull it or nah? Don't pull it.
It'd be
Don't worry
hard to
about it.
Yeah,
It'd be hard to find.
Yeah, it'd be hard to
But y'all know
find.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when he was like shaking in his boots to talk about it.
Right. No, they're black.
Yeah, she said what? But she said black? He said black.
He said black.
No,
black.
They wasn't trying.
He said, you know what? He said, yes, black.
Right. All right, let it play.
Experts agree that there is a 1 in 5 chance of human extinction before the year 2100.
At the 2008 Oxford Conference, participants considered nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, and war to be the three categories that were most likely to bring about such an event. Personally, the one that keeps me awake at night is the unbridled development of artificial intelligence. It's partially because of the weaponization of artificial intelligence, and what I like to refer to as the dark triad of offensive, lethal, autonomous machines. The possibility of programming errors or of users deliberately inflicting these upon enemy populations is the type of thing that makes me nervous. The development of artificial intelligence is supposed to make lives a lot easier, but in practice might represent the biggest existential threat of all. When we see a civilization that effectively disappears without a record of precisely why they left, the answer is often rooted in the development of advanced technology.
Hold on, pause.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, he making it seem like they scared of that the iRobot movie finna happen.
Right.
Nah.
Right.
Go to Jeremiah 16 and 16.
Yeah.
This the closest thing you're gonna get to them iRobots that was punching the damn holes in the wall and stuff. This the closest you're gonna get to that.
Jeremiah chapter 16 and verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord.
So that's the stage that we in right now. Right now, when you see the brothers going out doing the fly missions, 365, so on and so forth, we fulfilling this prophecy. We fishing for our people, read.
And they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters.
So guess what? It ain't gonna be no damn robots to hunt y'all ass down. It's gonna be the prophets of God.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, can I get one real quick? Let me,
Yes, sir.
Genesis 27 and 40. Because what the Edomite had said, he said the one that keeps him up at night is the advanced technology, and unbridled meaning there's no limit or control to how fast this technology is improving, and the fact that they're weaponizing it. That's
right. Right.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live.
So Esau, he said, yo, if it's anything that can be used in order to kill in war and get a gain over another nation, Esau is doing it. Whether it's food, technology, science, bombs, whatever the case is, if Esau can weaponize it, he gonna weaponize it. Because his gift, his blessing was by the sword he gonna live. He's the one that weaponizes literally everything. Even medicine, he quote unquote medicine, he weaponizes it. That's all I want on that one.
Yeah, that's sanctions that he put on everybody, right? Weaponizing sanctions, right? You know, Esau is the devil, man.
Right.
Hey, so maybe he's saying that he's scared that they developing weapons that they're gonna use to kill themselves, like the nukes.
Hey, and give me Ezekiel 28. Ezekiel 28 and verse number 3. Do verse number 3.
Ezekiel chapter 28 and verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that can be hid from thee.
So this is speaking about they are wiser than Daniel. Wiser than Daniel. Why is it saying that they're wiser than Daniel? Hold that. Go to Daniel chapter 1 and verse 4. Daniel chapter 1 verse 4. Let's see what these people are wiser than. Daniel 1 and verse 4.
The book of Daniel, chapter 1 and verse 4. Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom.
And what?
Skillful in all wisdom.
They're wiser than Daniel because they're skillful in all wisdom. Read.
And cunning in knowledge.
And cunning in knowledge. What knowledge are they cunning in? Technology and sciences.
Right.
All of the advancements that he's speaking about that make him afraid.
Weaponry.
And understanding science. And such as had ability in them to stand in the king's palace.
That's why they're wiser than Daniel. That's why Ezekiel is speaking about them being wiser than Daniel. Let's go back to Ezekiel 28, verse number 4.
Ezekiel chapter 28, verse number 4. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten the riches.
There it is right there. With their wisdom, with that science and technology that they have, it's given them riches. They've gotten rich from being able to control the whole world with nuclear bombs and the threat of nuclear war. All they had to do was drop that thing once. When they fast sped that science, when they brought those German scientists over here after World War II, and they went on a fast pace to get that bomb together and then dropped it, man, The whole earth said, bruh, look, hey, you owe me money? No, but here you go.
Yeah.
Right. Tat, tat, tat. What the?
Right.
Say that money that you owe me.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't, hey,
y'all
right,
get with
right.
me.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
So where is all of this taking place? Let me get Micah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Let me get Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Where is all of this taking place? Because the Edomite said it keeps him up at night. Yeah. So where you at night majority of the time?
Right.
Read that.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
And work it evil where?
Upon their beds.
They work it evil upon their beds. So they coming up with all these ideas to work evil upon their beds. They're gaining this understanding of the knowledge of science upon their bed. Give me, hold that, give me Job chapter 33 and verse 14. Job chapter 33 and verse 14.
The book of Job, chapter 33 and verse 14. But God speaketh once, yea, twice, yet man perceiveth it not. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed.
And slumberings upon the bed. So this is what keeping them up at night. They trying to sleep, but they can't sleep because of what's going on in their mind.
Right.
Read.
Then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction.
So they think they moving on their own will. Nah, the Lord got them doing that.
That's right.
And what's going to happen is he going to use them to destroy their own selves.
That's right.
You know what's crazy? Because with the scripture that you had pulled, one there's nothing that's hid from them. With them being this knowledgeable in science, like with going back to that first video, Fauci, you can tell him and his group, they had already known this information. But the other guy that came upon it, he's like, yo, you really would have to look at this thing because not all of it, but just this particular part right here, it looks like something's going on with it. So even with them trying to be, it reminds me of the scripture that say, "Their own tongue shall fall upon them." Them trying to do things underhandedly. There are other Edomites that's like, well, what's going on with this? And then they like, hey, bruh, you ain't supposed to know all this. Be quiet.
Right. That was Donald Trump's problem right there. He was like, man, you messing us up.
Right. Go back to that Ezekiel 28. Go back to that verse 4. We're going to read 4 and 5. I want to finish that out. Because it's speaking about that wisdom, and it shows what happened.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 28 and verse 4. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding,
science and technology,
thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver unto thy treasures.
Read.
By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic,
by thy trading, by thy merchant, by your merchant systems. Go ahead.
Hast thou increased thy riches.
They increased their riches through their trading. And that trading came by way of the evil things that they were devising out of the technology and science that they've built.
And that hucklerism.
That hucksterism.
Right, that's the word.
Yep. Go ahead.
And thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, verse 6, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God, behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, terrible of the nations.
So that's what's going to happen. That's what we're looking at.
Yep.
We're waiting patiently on that to happen. That's why there's no fear. They sit up and they afraid on their beds at seeing this technology grow, right?
Yeah.
We see it. It's a fearful sight like, oh, snap, look at what they putting together.
Right.
But the reality is if we got the commandments of God and the faith of Christ, then we understand.
Right.
Yeah, okay, right on. Y'all can have that.
We know iRobot ain't finna kill us. We
all.
know that ain't how it's going down. The Most High is letting us know right here how it's going down.
Yeah, at all.
Hey, because even on that Doomsday Prepper show that you mentioned earlier, I never seen that. I watch it too. I never seen that one episode when they be prepping for some damn robots. It's always like a nuclear fallout or, you know what I'm saying, something like that. Something biblical, famine.
Right, right. All right, let it play.
When we see a civilization that effectively disappears without a record of precisely why they left, the answer is often rooted in the development of advanced technology. Because advanced technology enables a larger population to live in a smaller area. But
he saw a damn lie. Oh my God. Yo, he said when you look at the history and you see a civilization that just disappeared, typically it's advanced technology. Esau kills off nations and just take their spot.
Facts.
He talking about advanced
Right,
technology. What,
right.
they had iPhones and drones back in the days of the Greeks.
It's the technology
and the
they
Romans.
used to kill. Hey, they created the damn gallon gun that was killing us.
Yeah,
with
that
their
gallon gun.
I was about to say, yeah,
Right.
that was their
Yeah,
advanced technology.
Right. They technology killing us.
Right, right. That was their advanced. But
Esau.
how do we know that everybody is not killed? Like, that's never going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 4:16, 4:16, right? Yeah. No end to all the people, right? We don't even have to get it. Yeah. And then Ecclesiastes 1:9, but the world abideth forever. One generation go away, another generation come in.
Right.
You know, but the earth abides forever. So all of this that he's saying, man, is scare tactics.
Right.
To get people to continue to just buy, consume. Go ahead.
Something happens to the resources themselves, then you don't have the capacity to support the population anymore.
When I look at an episode like Rome making an incredible drainage system out of lead pipes, and then everyone goes nuts, is it all that different than a human society building up technology to the point where we forget that
Wait a minute. What did he say?
He said, is it all that different? Is
So-
there any difference, he's asking?
He said Rome fell because they had a sewage system. They created they created piping.
But basically, he's saying that technology that Rome had, they had it then.
Right.
And is it really any different than today?
Right.
That's how they study it. They look at it based on what happened historically, and they are the authors of, well, they're not the authors of it, but they are the forerunners of continuing the cycle of history. While we sit back and chill, you know what I mean? They're bringing forth things around and cycle and just keep increasing and increasing and increasing. But that ceiling got to fall in.
Right.
That floor got to cave in a minute.
Yep.
And then
that's how you know America is an extension of Rome.
Right.
And what happened to Rome? It failed.
By a black man.
What it say? Babylon's about to fall.
Yeah.
You gonna hear about
Y'all
it.
ain't know we had talent in the scripture reloaded, did y'all?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, pray to the Lord.
Yes, sir. Let it play.
one goes nuts. Is it all that different than a human society building up technology to the point where we forget that we're really just part of an ecosystem that's much more powerful than us, no matter what we build?
That ecosystem is God.
That's right.
That's right.
See, to assume that we can always innovate our way out of the crisis of the moment. There's also no guarantee that technology will save a civilization.
Yo, my
when it's
man literally
faced with-
just said, he said, there's always a mind. He's telling you their mindset. They always think that they could just somehow innovate or invent or create something that's going to get them out of the issue.
Right.
Modern day, the jab. He said, yo, we can just make it in the lab, man. That'll get rid of it.
Yeah.
But, Most High like, nah, let's send this next one on. This next one on.
But they also got our people thinking that they can do that. You know what I mean? That they gonna be the one that save us from all these different atrocities, these famines, because of what they put on TV in the movies. Who always come in as the superhero?
Clark Kent.
You know what I mean?
What's that? Wayne. What's his name? Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Bruce
Batman.
Wayne.
Yeah.
But the thing that we have to know, because we're getting close to the wind down time, but the thing that we have to know for everybody that's watching is that will not be the case. What they're saying is not going to take place, and that's prophesied. It's prophesied in the book of Obadiah. I think you was bringing that up.
Get it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you were. All right. Give me Obadiah.
Bring it
Give me that Obadiah. Let's close this thing out with that. Obadiah, start at verse 2.
The book of Obadiah, verse 2. Behold.
I started verse 1. Let's see who he's talking about.
Obadiah, verse one. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom.
So this is concerning Edom, the so-called white people of the earth.
Wahidi, like Officer LaBelle said.
Yeah,
Wahidi.
Verse 3.
Verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
Pride of your heart has deceived you. Go ahead.
Thou that dwellest in the cliffs of the rock, whose habitation is high.
Top of the world. Read.
That saith in his heart, Who shall bring me down to the ground?
And this is how proud they are. Who's going to bring us down to the ground?
Right.
Read.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith
God
the Lord.
said that I'm shutting you down.
Yeah, so when Elon Musk go to Mars, guess what?
Most High gonna be up there.
Yeah, we're gonna be up there.
That's right.
He gonna be like, hey, nah.
That's right.
Hey, what is it? What they got that? Damn, the road. There's a road. It's a dead end. It's like dead end. Most High gonna have a dead end sign up there.
Right.
And that's it because by him saying that technology is gonna kill them, it's like him saying we can only kill ourselves. Ain't nobody else gonna do it.
That's how
we
proud
can
they are.
they are.
Yeah, that's how proud they are.
Man.
All right. Well, hey, look, we appreciate everybody that tuned in. Y'all have been tuned in the Scripts Reloaded for another week.
That's right.
Go online, follow us on social media, Facebook at In the Scripts Reloaded, YouTube at In the Scripts Reloaded, Instagram, Dallas IUIC, Twitter, IUIC Dallas, TikTok at IUIC Dallas. We appreciate everybody.
Plug IUIC.
Oh, yeah. IUIC TV. Make sure that you download that app today.
Right.
The Sabbath classes, you can watch them live on IUIC TV. Also, if you want to donate for the show so that we can build ourselves up, that is IUIC.Dallas@IsraelUnite.org. You can donate to help us build the show. So again, it's the end of another week. We pray that y'all gleaned something from everything that was brought out. And you are listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.
You're listening to In the Scripts Reloaded. You are listening to In the Scripts Reloaded.